Click, 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 click. Like that. Oh, what's going on, guys? Tuesday morning. I'm going to call it Twin Turbo Tuesdays or Turbo Money Tuesdays. Tuesday Turbo Money. Turbo Money Tuesdays. Something like that. Something like that. We'll call it what it is. So, let me kind of figure out where I'm going to talk about here. RCON. RCON, the biggest mover this morning. It's up 44%. Up there, that 265 area. No shares to short. Let me see. Maybe I might have shares to short. Let me look in the short list real quick. I don't think so, though. No shares to short. So, RCON up there to that 250 area. I like to see this one get above that 265 area, make it run at $3. It has resistance at $3. So, we'll see. Could be a tough one. Another stock that's moving around this morning. One of our old favorites here. HMNY. Let me get my H on my keyboard. Doesn't like to work sometimes. So HMNY gapping up from the $13 area up there to $16 right now. High of day $16.48. We got 700,000 shares traded. Uh-oh, new warning message. What's the warning message about? KALV. 5,000 shares traded. Moving around a little bit, but not loving it. I want to see some more shares traded before it gets hot, hot, hot. Oh, man. SureTrader is just basically, they're not allowed to advertise to U.S. residents. And I think this is how this is kind of trying to stop U.S. residents from signing up for SureTrader, I guess. So if you're a U.S. resident, you're not supposed to be solicited by SureTrader. So that's what's going on if you're wondering. Right now we're talking about SureTrader.com, showing this right here. Website unavailable. Basically, since I'm a U.S. resident, since the U.S. IP address is popping up there, it's basically saying that for me to go into the website, for me to check it out, I am basically saying that I was not solicited by SureTrader. It's not saying that they're closing down or anything like that, any kind of issues, but they're basically just telling us that we're not supposed to be solicited. So HMNY up to that $16 area. RCON pulling back down here to the 240s. Needs to get above this 260 area to really have the power to go higher. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the whole SureTrader thing. If you have a SureTrader account, you should be good. It's basically just a warning to try to stop U.S. residents from... I think it's just like a safeguard to basically say that SureTrader is not advertising to U.S. residents. All right. What I was looking at. So RCON, stock moving around this morning. Another stock that's moving around this morning is, looking at this IPG. IPG getting sold off this morning. Looking at the daily chart here, this thing gapped down last night from the $20 area. Might be some more room to go lower here. We'll see. IPG, possible short here. Sometimes the live stream chat just gets really interesting. Yesterday, DRYS made a little bit of a move here yesterday, jumping up there to the 445 area from the 360 area. So DRYS getting a little bit of a pump going on there. Look at this nice little pump action, but then just selling off the rest of the day. No shares is short. For me, I would have shorted it here if I could have, but I couldn't. Oh, man. All right, so DRYS yesterday making a big pop up there. Got to be real careful. If you're going to trade DRYS, remember this thing is nothing but a pump and dump. If it starts moving, take your profit. Don't be greedy. You don't want to get stuck in this drop. Stuck in a drop or a halt or something like that. IMDZ. Have I been selling IMDZ? I don't think so. You guys are really getting me off track this morning. All right, what are we looking at? Pre-market. So RCON, HMNY. Looks like PTIE making a move here. PTIE. Low volume so far. It's gapping up a little bit. Nothing to write home about just yet. We'll see. This thing doesn't really trade much. Look at the volume on this thing. There's no volume really, so it needs a lot more volume there. Couple of the bigger stocks moving around this morning. It's earnings week, so we got a lot of big earnings this week. We got Whirlpool coming down this morning from that 183 area after hours, having bad earnings, crashing down there to 163 now. Could have some moves in it, short there. VISI jumping up here from the 220 area up there to 315. Only 11,000 shares traded. So make sure there's more volume before you go jumping in on that one. Yeah, I mean, really nothing looking too crazy this week. There's 170 S&P 500 stocks this week that are having earnings. So that's 170 earning reports coming out. So there's going to be a lot of people trading the earnings, trading some of the bigger caps. So it might take away some of the volume from the small caps. Just might be one of those weeks where it's just kind of a slow week. Got to just take profit when you got it. Lock in some quick profits and kind of be done for the day. Yesterday, had a little bit of trouble there on the AGEN. Ended up green on the day, but after commissions and fees, I was still down like 30 bucks. So you can see the small account is still moving forward here. Actually, it doesn't even look like, yeah, I was down. Yeah, I lost like 30 bucks after commissions and fees. So it wasn't that big of a deal yesterday. But you can see the small account starting out with $1,000 at the beginning of October. There, I'm at $3,530. I got $21,000 worth of buying power. Let's go buy something. Buy everything I can. Sell, sell, sell. Hitesh, how did you lose $1,400? Oh, man. Oh, man. SNES. Yesterday, SNES. A tough one. Really just kind of a tough one yesterday. It was all over the place. Looking here at the daily chart, you can see SNES jumping up, coming back, jumping up, finding resistance, crashing down. Couple pops, couple drops, but really just popping up there after lunch there at noon, jumping higher up there to the 350 area. It's one of those stocks you just want to buy the dip, sell the rip on. Yeah, you definitely don't want to short this stock the first day. It's up 100%. So RCON pulling back down there to that 235 area. We'll see if this 235 area wants to hold here. If not, expect this to go lower. I think below 235, it's going to be done. You want me to review SGMO? Better be something going on for me to review here. 88 shares traded there. Not even going to waste my time. Come on now. SBS. All right. Papa Kachin. No more reviews for you. Do not point out a stock that has 50 shares traded pre-market, because that is not what we're doing here. We're looking for volume. We're looking for action. We're looking for momentum, baby. That's what we're doing here. We're trading the momentum. Momentum day trading, not buy a stock with no volume and hope it goes up. Oh, man. I hate when people start calling out stock names. Why you do this? Why? Why does anybody do? Look at the spread on this thing. What do you want with me? Why? Oh, man. I'm done. No more. I don't even. So HMNY gapping up there from the $13 area up there to $16, finding some resistance there. HMNY, a crazy previous runner up there to $38, pulling back here. But just kind of looking here at HMNY. You know what? This thing might do. It might just be one of these. Might be a pop on the way down here. If you look at HMNY, it's been going lower and lower for a while now. Back beginning of October, October 12th, to October 11th, got up there to the $39. Got up there to the $39 area, pulling back. Look at this, going lower, lower, lower from the $40 area down there to 15. So HMNY made a crazy move. What was it? Back in like August, back in September, I guess, from the 250 area, made a move all the way up there to $40. It's heading on back down there to 250. There are no shares to short HMNY, at least for me on SureTrader. But HMNY making a pop on the way down here. Got 800,000 shares traded. Nothing looking too amazing right now. It might be just one of those days. I might be one of those days where you just gotta wait, and if nothing comes along, you just don't trade. I'm gonna go for that today. Not that I want to, but I'm going to really force myself to wait for a good setup. Yesterday, AGEN, it was not a good setup. I was basically just trying to force a trade there, trying to get a little bit of a pop. And I paid for it. So I ended up paying for that forcing a trade there on AGEN yesterday. Paid a lot more than I wanted to, actually. I got a lot of slippage there on AGEN yesterday. Luckily, I was able to short it later on, but keeping an eye here on a couple of different stocks. What was the HTGM yesterday? Actually, was end of the day. I made a trade on this stock, HTGM, end of the day yesterday. You can see HTGM kind of low volume, but right there at the end of the day, made a move there from the 250 area up there to 295. I got in here. Where did I get in? I think right above 275. So got in here at the 275 area. Right over that 275, it ran up there to 295. Got in there with smaller size there at the end of the day, just trying to get back to green. Got pretty close, but not enough. Commission still held me down. So HTGM made a move higher yesterday. Pretty much all day long, but not having the volume. You can see made a little pop there at open. Kind of just bounced in this 230 area. No volume for a couple hours. Get a big spike in volume. Made a big move. Pulled back. No volume. And then right there, end of day, HTGM moving higher. So I think there might have been kind of a bigger firm or somebody loading up shares, because every once in a while you'd see a big buyer pop up on the bid and kind of buy the dip. So HTGM, somebody could have been loading up yesterday. Loading up slowly. That's why you just see these pops and drops. Once somebody saw that big buyer step up there, they jumped up ahead of them, trying to pop up while they're on HTGM. But other than that, HTGM, I know a lot of people are sitting here hoping and praying that I just pick out a stock that's going to be amazing today, but I'm just part of the masses, just like everybody else. I got to wait for a stock just like everybody else. Not really not much I can do. If there's not a good stock, there's not a good stock. Can't do anything about it. So kind of just recapping what's really moving around this morning. HMNY, like I said, this thing popped up from the $13 area up there to $16.50. It's pulling back now. It might just be one of these pops on the way down. Somebody going crazy about RCON. RCON back up to that 250 area. So RCON holding this 235, 237 support. Kind of move this up there to that 238. So 238 there on RCON. It's kind of holding support there. I like to see this get above that 265 area. The only problem with RCON really is that if this thing does get going above this 265 area, we're going to run right into that $3 resistance there. If you're looking at the daily chart here, RCON has this resistance coming up there. Previous resistance there, right there. So we got this $3 resistance coming up there. It's actually at 296, but we'll just call it $3. Got that mental resistance there, $3. So we got about a 40-cent pop there. But you can see right after we get over that $3 area, there's another resistance there at the 310 area. So we got kind of double trouble there. 310, 320 area resistance here on RCON. That's not a lot of tops there. You can see RCON kind of making these big pops, selling off, making big pops, selling off, making big pops, selling off. So be careful here if you're going to trade RCON. Definitely want to see this thing exploding. Got 500,000 shares traded. So got 500,000 shares traded so far. We're there at 255. The one good thing about this kind of stock is it could be a really good short squeeze. You could have a lot of shorts piling in there at the $3 area that think this is going to crash. You get a lot of shorts that are basically looking at this chart and like, wow, this is definitely going to crash. So they're trying to pile in there. And then if you keep the buy-in going, you keep the action going, you keep the volume coming in, this stock can squeeze, and all those shorts that pile in there at the resistance areas could get squeezed pretty quickly and cause a nice little short squeeze. So that's the one thing that RCON has going for it. That, you know, looking at this chart, if I was a short, I would look at this chart and be like, wow, you know, this thing definitely is going to crash. I'm going to short the first resistance. If that first resistance doesn't hold and it goes higher, I'd have to cover for a loss. And obviously, you get a lot of shorts that are piling in there. It can definitely cause a nice little short squeeze. So that's the one thing you can keep an eye on there on RCON. No shares is short for me, so it's up 50% right now. It's up there to 255, 260 area resistance right now. This 230 area holding. Nice little pop up there so far from the $1.70 area right up there to 265. When did this? By 8 o'clock. Nice. So at 8 o'clock, this thing started moving there. So RCON up there to 265. Definitely keep an eye on this one, like I said. But overall, what's the overall market's doing this morning? Overall market is green right now. Looking like we're going to be green going into open here. We have not had a really good sell-off in quite some time. I'd love to see just a real solid sell-off here. Get a nice red day. Play the VIX today. Not sure we're going to get it. There's a lot of earnings this week. A lot of big companies, a lot of big earnings. So those big earnings are going to be keeping the stock market going higher. FAAT IPO yesterday. FAT. Wow. FAT. That's a bad ticker name, I feel like. But somebody picked it out. So FAAT gapping. Well, IPO yesterday. There from the 1260 area. Run up there to 14 and kind of just selling off the rest of the day. So RCON, a couple people talking about how it has news. So we'll be keeping an eye on it, keeping an eye on that 265 area, and then if this thing starts to run, starts to get going there at open, keep an eye on that $3 area as resistance. If I got in there at the 265 area, I would definitely take profit before $3, just for the sheer fact that there is that resistance there at the $3 area. You don't want to get up there and just to get smacked down when the shorts start piling in there. But over $3, over $3.10, we can see RCON get real crazy. So definitely keep an eye on that. And that's kind of all she wrote today. Not really much going on. Not very exciting so far. I wish I had better news for you, but that's what it is. Sometimes the stocks just don't want to do what you want them to do. Taking one last look here at the overall pre-market movers. Nothing really looking that good. So I'll be sitting back here and I'll be waiting and watching using SureTrader. If somebody asked me. I have not looked at TDM. Let's look TEND. Up 100,000 shares traded so far. It's up 5.7%. Making a little bit of a move. Not much going on. You can see this thing is kind of a slow mover. Not sure what's going on with that one. Or maybe over $3 there. Nope. Yeah, I just don't ever short stocks that have hard to borrow with SureTrader. So on that note, it's almost, what is it, 9:20. I'm going to go get ready for the market open here and go make a cup of coffee and do some fun things. Coffee, bathroom break, get ready for the market open. And I will talk to you guys later on. Keep an eye on RCON. Keep an eye on a couple other stocks, HMNY this morning. We'll see what happens. Talk to you guys later on. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button right now. Do it. Do it. I know you want to do it. It's right there in the corner. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help me help you.